G'day and welcome back. And hi to you, Aidan. It's nice to know that you're watching your old dad. And something different, I thought I'd talk about my guitar collection, especially for you, Aidan, because let's face it, one day you're going to get them, so you may as well know a little bit about them. I thought I'd start with this one. Not that you'd recognise it, I don't think anyone would recognise it the way it is. This one I bought in the 80s. This is the very first guitar I bought. Okay, and it used to belong to my brother, and he was into heavy metal back in the 80s, and he and his friends used to go to the St James Tavern on a Thursday night, which is underground near the station, and they'd have heavy metal nights there on a Thursday night. And so all the heavy metal bands would go down there and rock the place out, and my brother was one of them, and he used to go down there and rock out with this. Some of his friends became very famous actually. They toured Europe and played to thousands and thousands of people and got the money and the fame and the fortune. And anyway, sidetrack. This guitar, this beauty, anyone guess what it is? You just see the headstock? Just see the name? Well, I'll show it. This is a Fernandez JS100 from the mid-80s. It's a Randy Rhoads copy, and I got this sort of off my brother. What he did is he had it, and he got short of cash one day, so he pawned it at a pawn shop. And when he told me that he'd done that, I was horrified. And so I immediately ran down to the pawn shop, and paid the money, which was $80, I think, back in the day. So this cost me $80. And when I got it, it wasn't like this. Of course, it was black. It was full size. It had all the trimmings. All the bits were here. It was 100% original. Even had the tremolo arm, which God knows where that is. Had the proper knobs and tuners and everything on it. And over the years, I played it and played it and played it and played it and played it. And I used to be in bands that used to play in bike shows and things like that, bike clubs and parties. Nothing flash, just a like a pub rock band. And I started off with this. And I think I got a picture. I'll just show a picture. Okay, well, that was back in the day, and that's what this used to look like. And what happened is, because it was so long sticking out the back, when you're on stage at a gig and you're moving around and you're jumping around on stage, you're doing all your showmanship, you used to knock in the mic stands and stab bass players and knock other guitarists, or smack drummers in the head, or whatever. Jump into the crowd and knock people in the ribs. And so I thought, no, I'm getting rid of that. So one day in, I think it was, where was it, early 2000s, I think, I chopped it and modified it on a belt sander. Oh yeah, so I put a bit of a tummy cart in it to make it comfortable. And I cut it a bit short actually. What I was going for was like a flying V thing, but I got overzealous with the belt sander and it got shorter and shorter and shorter, and is what it is now. Yeah. And I took all the finish off and given a nice an oil finish. And if you can see that, it's a 3-piece, or more than 3-piece when you get to the headstock, but the flame on that neck, now if the whole neck was that flamey, it'd be a bit of a shame to finish it in the first place, but that's gorgeous. It was a gorgeous piece of gear. Let's try and see some of this neck detail, like this flame. Apologies that I'm filming this with an old potato, but that's all I have. But that flame's gorgeous. It's a pity the whole thing wasn't like that. And just some detail. Anyway, that's it, the Fernandez. And I snapped this off when it fell over. Because the shape it wasn't conducive to sitting into a guitar stand at all, or even leaning up against the wall. The thing would fall over all the time, and it fell over and smashed the headstock, and that's what prompted me to do what I did to it. Anyway, funnily enough too, another friend of mine that I used to work with back years ago had an old 70s Fender Stratocaster with the old nitro cellulose finish on it, and he was into heavy metal and he loved this thing. He loved it. It was very chunky. He's got a very good chug, this thing, when it gets going. If you're playing through the right thing, like a Marshall stack or something, which I don't have here at the time. My Marshall's over at the gigging space at the moment because it's just too big to keep carrying around all the time. But this thing through a cranked Marshall is phenomenal, you know. And he loved it, and he offered me a straight swap. He said, "I'll swap you my Strat," and I went, "No." Hindsight, I probably should have swapped him, because I'm sure that guitar's worth a lot more than this one. Although, as I said, this one, if it was in proper condition, is about $2,500, which isn't bad for an $80 investment if I hadn't played with it. But anyway, that's it. This will be yours one day. I know, you can see I've blocked the tremolo with a battery. I hate tremolos. I mean, I got Strats and they seem to all have tremolos on them. But my favourite, if I can get one, will be one of the old Strats that were hardtail. If I could find one of those, terrific. But anyway, Fernandez JS100. I could show a little bit what it sounds like. If you just bear with me, I'll just turn some things on. Now, here we go, turn it up. Can't do much with 5 strings. Put your Zen on. Look at that one. I need a plate trim. guitar I bought my own money, and that's the first one in this little series. So next one I'll show you number 2. Okay, see ya. Bye, Aiden.